Disgrace to boxing. Disgrace to boxing. Disgrace to fucking boxing. I don't even know where to begin with this shit. I just got out of the doctor. Excuse me 1 second, fella. I gotta go get the car washed, fill up the tank, and hit the ATM. But we're gonna sit in the parking lot, have a smoke, and talk about this fucking little weasel, Shakur Stevenson, for a few minutes. Okay, this was one of the most disgusting performances of boxing I've ever seen. Even the old man, my 70-year-old dad, who's been around since the fucking Floyd Patterson days, like I say, unless we're having a card game or something, or we have company or family over or whatever, he's not staying up till midnight to watch the fights, unless it's a big fight like Loma Haney. He stayed up for Crawford Spence, that kind of shit. He'll stay up for that, but he wasn't going to stay up for this. So I recorded for him so he could watch it the next day. I DVR it. So first thing, my dad, he had to run to Menards and get some shit. We got to fix something on one of the walls in the house. First thing I hear from, I'm putting my coffee away. I was getting ready to come to this doctor's appointment that I just walked out of. First thing he says to me is he's kicking his boots off and walking back in the house, as he goes, Jesus fucking Christ, that was one of the worst fucking fights I've ever seen in my life. He goes, I couldn't agree more. And what the old man also said, my dad's 70, he's been around for he knows a few things. The other thing my dad said that stuck with me, I don't ever want to see him on TV again. I don't either. You shouldn't either. And I'm going to explain to you why. These bum-ass American fighters that are supposedly skilled constantly get their fucking balls sucked by the boxing media. They constantly get praised for doing little to nothing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Shakur hasn't done anything, but he hasn't done much, bro. Let's go through it. Shakur fought a bum for a vacant featherweight title. He didn't fight a champion for that title. Then he fought, who did he fight after that? Nobody. Okay, fine. You beat Valdez. Valdez is an all-right fighter. He's like a B-level guy. I'll give you that. Fine. You got to win over Valdez. Shakur also beat Consacao, who we just saw last night, gave Navarrete a great fight that could have went either way, right? I personally thought Navarrete edged it, but I thought he should have edged it, but it was a close fight. I'm not going to bitch about the draw. Just to touch on that real quick, and what a great fight. Hats off to both Navarrete and Consacao. Great fight, outstanding. Hats off to both of them. I didn't have too much of an issue with the decision. I thought if anybody edged it, it was Vaquero because of the 2 knockdowns, but it was like a 6-6 fight to me, so I didn't really have an issue with the draw, but I did think Navarrete edged it. That being said, back to Shakur. That was a great fight. Awesome fight. Hats off to both gentlemen. Hats off to both those Latino gangsters. But back to Shakur. I mean, Shakur fought a bum for a title at 130 pounds, for a vacant title at 130 pounds. Or 126 pounds, rather, excuse me. Then he fought, who did he fight for? Oh, he fought Jamel Herring. Now, again, I like Jamel Herring. I am a fan. I think he's a good dude. He's, a veteran. But he wasn't that great of a fighter. I mean, let's just be honest here, people. I think he's a good dude. He wasn't that great of a fighter, though. I mean, his best win was against Carl Frampton, who's a natural bantamweight, and when he's 5'10". So Shakur beat a 40-year-old Herring, unified with Valdez. Now, that's not bad. And then he fought Consacao. That's not a bad little run right there. You fought a couple of B-level guys, right? You fought dirty as fuck against Consacao in a fight that I thought was a lot closer than the commentators were saying. I thought that was like a 7-5, 8-4 Shakur. But regardless, you got the win. You fought dirty, but you got the win. But that was a decent little run. You fought a 40-year-old Herring. Valdez. A couple of B-level guys, right? And you had a dirty fight with Consacao. Fine. Then you moved up to 135, fought a complete nobody. Then you fought another nobody last night. And I don't think De Los Santos is a bad fighter, so I'm not going to call him a nobody. But again, it's another B-level dude that the establishment, the boxing establishment, was never going to let you lose unless you got knocked out. And because Shakur is such a pussy, he fought off the back foot like a coward because he did not want to fight. And made a mockery of boxing, made a mockery of all the fans that... And here's the shitty thing. This privileged little New Jersey brat, like I say, you boys can't hang with the Midwest or the South, like I always tell you. But this privileged little East Coast fucking pussy is always rapping on Twitter about what a badass he is. Let me tell you something. Nobody is scared of Shakur Stevenson. Nobody is ducking him. Who would want to fight him after what you just saw last night? Why? So they can lose their belts by a guy that doesn't even want to fight? That's going to get the decision unless you fucking spark him out? This is, and this is why I'm retracting my statements about Pitbull and Kambosos ducked him. Because who the fuck would want to get in the ring with that dude? Who would want to fight with who would want to have a track meet with that dude? I'm not even going to use the word fight, because that wasn't a boxing match, what you saw last night, people. That was one little American pussy scared to let his hands go and scared to get punched in the face. Well, guess what? If you're scared to get punched in the face, then boxing isn't your sport. And Shakur made it very clear that he's scared to get his lipstick messed up last night. All right? So I don't want to hear any more. And even Devin Haney, everybody knows how I feel about Devin Haney. I think he's a fucking piece of shit. I think his dad's a piece of shit. I think he's a scumbag. I don't even think he should have a fucking title right now. I thought Lomachenko beat the shit out of him and got fucking robbed. Everybody knows how I feel about Devin Haney, but at least Devin Haney fights people. And it sometimes comes to fight. Like the Jojo Diaz fight, that was a good back and forth. Loma was obviously a very competitive fight. He blew Kambosos out of the water twice, but it's bad when Johnny's got to give Devin Haney props. Let's just put it that way. That shit is bad. So I don't want to hear about how Haney's ducking him, how Tank's ducking him, and I don't like Tank either. I don't want to hear about how Haney, Tank, Loma, none of these boys are ducking him, because who in their fucking right mind will want to fucking get in the ring with that little fucking clown after what we just witnessed last night? Shakur Stevenson owes the boxing fans an apology for one of the... I'm sitting, bro... Before I started to hit the record button, I'm sitting here in my mind trying to think of a fight that was like that bad that I've seen in recent memories. That was one of the most horrendous displays of fighting. One that struck me in my mind was Cyril Gane and Francis Ngannou. That was another horrible fight, and I know that's a different sport, but that was another one that was just like, you couldn't have made a worse fight than that. And that's exactly what last night was. You couldn't have made a fucking more disgusting shithole of a fight than that, man. Shakur Stevenson's a fucking disgrace to the sport, people. It's that simple. And the bad part is, we're going to have to deal with it for another fucking decade. We're going to have to deal with these commentators sucking his dick and praising him and just crowning him as the king of boxing for doing absolutely nothing and not even being willing to engage in a fight for the next decade, people. We're going to have to fucking deal with it. So me, you, and every other boxing fan out there that's not a racist fucking chocolate Nazi, because I know there's some chocolate Nazis out there that are going to call Shakur's and some American boxing reporters that are gonna call Shakur Stevenson's performance last night a tour de force and say it was a masterclass. And Shakur Stevenson has more skills, more athleticism than everybody in the ring, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But so I know you're gonna have to hear some of that shit. So guess what, guys? Me, you, and every other normal boxing fan on the planet are going to have to eat this big old shit sandwich called Shakur Stevenson for the next decade. It's a fucking sacrilege. I don't ever want to see this kid fight again. I hope that Lomachenko kills him. And after what I saw last night, I have to be honest with you. I do like Lomachenko's chances a lot better against this fucking kid than I did prior to that. He's not... And let me get this last thing out of the way. Shakur Stevenson's not a pound-for-pound fighter. He's a little spoiled, a marrow bum fucking brat coward. And he owes the world of boxing an apology for that shit show that he put on last night. It's that fucking simple, people. Anyways, I got work to do. I have to go record my Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker prediction. Got some laundry to do. Later on in the evening, maybe tomorrow, I will have my David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade prediction up for you guys to watch and enjoy and give me your picks on that. And if you're new to the channel, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. If you're feeling generous enough to donate, the Cash App will be in the comment section below. So thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you all. Again, great fight from Vaquero Navarrete and Conceição. Hats off to both of them, gentlemen. At least we got a great fight out of them two guys last night. But this Shakur shit was just absolutely disgusting, people. So with that said, I will talk to you guys later. God bless you, and everybody have a wonderful Friday. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.